Regret is the only ghost that truly haunts a house. These words echo in the silence between name 1 and name 2, hanging in the air like a distant thunderstorm. In the quiet hum of the emergency room, both move with precision, their hands steady, their faces masked in the calm exterior of professionals. The beeping of the machines and the soft shuffle of footsteps are the only sounds that break the silence. But beneath their quiet movements, something heavy lingers. They carry the weight of years spent in this place, this sterile, chaotic environment, where every moment is a battle against time, yet nothing seems to stop the slow march of regret. Name 1 glances at the clock, noting the hour, then shifts to another patient without a word. Every step, every decision, is calculated to keep the machine of care running. Yet there is a sadness that creeps in, a fatigue in the way they move that cannot be hidden by their sterile uniforms. They keep their eyes down, their focus on the task, not on the emptiness that surrounds them. For years, this has been their life, their work, the endless cycle of saving others while slowly losing themselves. The mask they wear is one of duty, but it is beginning to crack. A fleeting moment of stillness. Name 1 stares at a blood pressure cuff, their hands trembling ever so slightly, and for a second, their mind drifts. The last time they had truly rested, the last time they had been there for their family, it feels like a lifetime ago. The sound of the beeping machines fades into a distant memory, and in the quiet of their own thoughts, the weight of their choices presses in. They remember the promises made, the dreams shared with loved ones that they never got to fulfill, the sacrifices, all for the greater good. But now, here, in this moment, those sacrifices feel like chains. They glance at name 2, who stands beside them, moving through the motions, the same quiet detachment in their eyes. Name 2's face, too, bears the marks of years spent in the trenches of this battle. They've seen the pain, the loss, the desperation, but never allowed it to touch them. Not until now. Name 2 shifts, adjusting their gloves, a quick motion to conceal the exhaustion in their posture. But it's there, in the way they look at the clock, in the tightness around their eyes, the weight of unspoken words. The room is full of people, yet there is an isolation between them, an understanding that neither is willing to speak. This space, this hospital, it's a cage they've built for themselves, a place where they can hide from the deeper questions they don't want to ask. But as the minutes pass, the weight of their shared silence grows, and the mask begins to feel suffocating. The truth is, they are not invincible. They are not machines. And the sacrifices they've made are starting to catch up with them. A loud crash echoes in the hallway, a reminder of the constant chaos that surrounds them. But this time it doesn't fade into the background. It reverberates in their bones. Name 1 looks down at their hands, the skin worn and tired. How many times had they held a loved one's hand in the past, promising that everything would be okay, only to find that those promises were empty? The moment hits them like a tidal wave. This is the life they've chosen, but it has come at a cost they can no longer ignore. The masks they wear were meant to protect them, to shield them from the harshness of the world, but now they are suffocating beneath the weight of their own choices. And in the silence, they finally allow themselves to feel it. As the chaos continues to swirl around them, the emergency room becomes nothing more than a blur of motion, a place where time seems to freeze and stretch, leaving its marks on the souls within. Name 1 watches a nurse rush by, carrying a stack of paperwork, her face tense with the weight of unspoken burdens. A flicker of recognition crosses their mind, a memory of their own first day on the job, a time when they believed they could change the world with nothing but their hands and heart. That was before the endless shifts, before the exhaustion became a constant companion, before the sacrifices began to accumulate like a debt they could never repay. The sterile white walls of the hospital now feel like a tomb, a place where dreams were buried long ago, and the promise of healing has become a cruel irony. Name 2 stands across the room, adjusting a ventilator, their posture rigid, as if holding up an invisible weight. Name 2 has always been the stronger one, the one who never let the cracks show, but now, even they are beginning to feel the strain. Their movements are slower, their eyes more tired, but still, they wear the same mask, the same impenetrable facade that has protected them for years. The facade that says, "I am in control, I am strong, even when the truth is that they are anything but. As Name 1 walks past a row of empty beds, the silence feels like a slap in the face. The patients are gone. The sounds of their struggles faded into the background. But the memories remain, vivid and unrelenting. They remember the faces of those who never made it, the ones they couldn't save, the families who looked at them with hope, only to have that hope shattered. Name 1 reaches out and touches the edge of a bed, its surface cold and unforgiving. The room is empty, but the weight of those memories presses down on them. For a fleeting moment, they are no longer in the present, no longer standing in the sterile room filled with the hum of machines. Instead, they are back in the quiet moments of their past, sitting at the kitchen table with their family, the laughter of their children ringing in their ears. They remember the promises they made, the times they swore they would always be there. But now, those promises seem like distant echoes, lost in the noise of their current life. The moment is brief, but it feels like a lifetime. Name 1 blinks, returning to the present, but the sense of loss lingers. They look over at Name 2, who hasn't noticed them yet. Name 2 continues to work, moving through the motions, but their shoulders sag slightly, betraying the weight they carry. They too are caught in the cycle of sacrifice, of never-ending work that takes more than it gives. And for what? The thought lingers in the back of Name 1's mind, the question they've never dared to ask out loud. What have they really accomplished? How many lives have they touched? And how many have slipped through their fingers, lost to the systems they've worked so tirelessly to uphold? The guilt begins to creep in, a slow burn that threatens to consume them. They want to reach out to Name 2, to share this burden, but the distance between them feels insurmountable. They are both trapped in the same endless cycle, bound by their duty, by their masks, unable to break free and face the reality that lies beneath. The weight of it all is too much, too overwhelming, and for the first time, Name 1 wonders if they'll ever be able to escape it. The sterile silence of the emergency room is now a heavy presence, pressing in from all sides, and yet, it's the quiet that feels the loudest. Name 1 moves between patients, the rhythm of their steps mechanical, as if they've become part of the machinery around them. They no longer notice the bright white lights overhead or the cold linoleum beneath their feet. All that matters is the next task, the next crisis, the next life to be saved. But in the corner of their mind, the memories start to seep in, uninvited but undeniable. They remember a time when life was simpler, when the weight of the world didn't rest solely on their shoulders. They remember their first day at the hospital, the excitement in their chest, the belief that they could make a real difference. That belief had been fresh, full of hope, full of light. Now, it feels like a distant dream. Their hands tremble slightly as they administer the next round of medication, a subtle sign of the strain they've carried for so long. It's not just the physical exhaustion anymore, it's the emotional toll. They remember the promises they made to their family, the birthday dinners missed, the anniversaries that passed with no celebration. The words they never spoke, the moments they could never return to, now haunt them. Their fingers, once steady and sure, are now weighed down with the unspoken words they wish they could take back, the people they never said goodbye to. A soft click from the monitor snaps them back to the present, and they continue on, as they always do. But the weight of regret hangs in the air, heavier than any physical burden they've carried. Name 2 moves nearby, their face a mask of professionalism. But Name 1 can see the strain behind the mask. Name 2 pauses for a moment, glancing at a family member in the hallway, their face etched with concern. For a fleeting second, their eyes meet, a silent understanding passing. Between them, they don't need to speak. The exhaustion, the guilt, the sacrifices, they all feel it. They know it. Name 2 turns away first, a slight shake of their head as they continue their work, hiding everything beneath their professional exterior. But the distance between them grows, even as they work side by side, as though both are trying to outrun the truth of what they've lost. The hum of the machines, the beeping of the monitors, it's all a blur now. Name 1 can barely remember the last time they felt truly present, truly alive. It's as if they've been walking through this haze for years, numb to the world around them, but not immune to the pain that festers beneath the surface. They catch a glimpse of their reflection in the glass of a nearby window. The person staring back at them feels foreign, their eyes tired, their face drawn. For a moment, it's as if they can see themselves for the first time in ages. Who are they now, and how did they get here? The answer isn't clear, but they know one thing. It's too late to go back. They're trapped in a cycle of sacrifice and regret, and the hardest part is realizing there may never be a way out. The hum of the machines in the emergency room seems to fade as Name 1 looks up from the patient chart, their gaze drifting across the room, the weight of years pressing down on their chest. Time moves in slow motion, each tick of the clock sounding louder than the last. The sterile smell of antiseptic fills the air, but it doesn't cleanse the atmosphere of the lingering sorrow that has built up over the years. Name 1 stands frozen, their hands still resting on the edge of the counter, their mind no longer in the present. They are transported back to a time when the hospital was a place of hope, when the goal was simple, to save lives. That hope, however, feels so far away now, buried beneath the weight of endless shifts, unspoken losses, and the unrelenting tide of human suffering. They close their eyes for a moment, and when they open them again, it's as if the world has shifted. They no longer see the room in front of them. They see the faces of their family, the moments they've missed, the birthdays, anniversaries, and small, quiet moments that slipped through their fingers like sand. The memories are vivid, each one more painful than the last. Name 1 remembers the laughter, the warmth of the kitchen table, the feeling of being home, of being needed. But that was before this place. The hospital became everything. They were supposed to make a difference, to be a hero, but in the process, they lost themselves. They lost their family, their friends, their own sense of self. They never asked for it, but it was the price they paid for doing what they thought was right. Name 1's grip tightens on the counter, the pain of it all rising like a wave that threatens to drown them. They hear a faint sound, the soft footsteps of Name 2, approaching from behind. Name 2 doesn't speak, doesn't acknowledge the silent struggle that's unfolding in front of them. Instead, they continue their work, the familiar rhythm of their actions filling the air with the sound of someone who has learned to shut off the pain, to shut off the human side of themselves that still wants to connect, still wants to feel. Name 2 moves past them, but there's something different now, something in their eyes. It's not the same cold detachment that has always been there. This time, there's a flicker of something else, something deeper, something that can't be hidden anymore. The weight of the years, of the sacrifice, has taken its toll on both of them. They've been running from it, burying it under work and duty, but it's becoming harder to ignore. Name 1 feels the crack in their own mask. The facade they've worn for so long is starting to fall apart, piece by piece. And for the first time, they let themselves feel the full weight of it all, the years of pushing away the pain, the guilt of missed moments, and the nagging feeling that they've failed everyone, including themselves. They want to scream, to lash out, but instead, they stand there, frozen in place, as the realization settles in. They are no longer the person they once were. The person who could balance work and life, the person who had hope, who had a future. That person is gone, lost to the demands of this place, to the sacrifice they made without even realizing how much they were giving away. Name 1 looks at Name 2, the one person who has been with them through it all. But now, even Name 2 is a stranger. The distance between them feels vast, and the unspoken words that have built up over the years seem too heavy to ever be voiced. In that moment, they both understand the truth that has been hiding in plain sight all along. The cost of their sacrifices has been their very humanity, and there's no turning back. The weight of the room feels unbearable now, the hum of machines still droning on, but to Name 1, it sounds distant, muffled as if they are no longer truly present in this space. Their hands move mechanically, administering medication, setting up and for, but their thoughts are elsewhere, trapped in a whirlpool of regret that pulls them deeper with every passing minute. The patients in front of them fade into the background as the ghosts of the past return, relentless, unforgiving. They see the faces of their children, of their spouse, of the moments they missed, the life they never lived outside these walls. They never thought it would come to this, never imagined they would trade their own joy for this endless cycle of duty. And yet, here they are, standing in this sterile room. unable to stop the flood of memories that now drown them. Name 2 moves through the room with the same cold efficiency, their face a mask of composure, but even Name 1 can see the strain beneath it. There is something about Name 2's movements now, a heaviness, a weight that wasn't there before. They had always been the strong one, the one who held it all together, but now they too are starting to crack under the pressure. Name 1 watches them silently, knowing that they, too, carry the same burdens, the same unspoken sacrifices. There's no escaping it. They are both trapped in the same system, the same cycle of giving and giving, until there's nothing left to give. The realization settles in like a stone in their chest. This isn't just about the lives they save, the patients they help. It's about the cost of it all, the emotional toll, the personal cost they've paid over the years. And now, standing here, amidst the constant hum of the machines, amidst the endless flow of patience and responsibility, they wonder if it was all worth it. They can't remember the last time they had time for themselves, for the people they love. The hospital has become their life, their everything, but at what cost? A sharp pang of guilt strikes Name 1 as they glance at Name 2 again. They had been so focused on their duty, so absorbed in their work, that they failed to see the toll it was taking on Name 2. The cracks in their mask are becoming visible now, too. Name 1 wants to say something, wants to reach out, but they're not sure what words could possibly convey the depth of what they feel. They stand there, watching Name 2, both of them lost in their own worlds, unable to bridge the gap that has grown between them. The silent sacrifices they've both made seem too immense to articulate. The years have passed in a blur, and all that's left is the weight of it all. The sacrifice has been too great, and now, there's no going back. They are who they are because of this place, because of the work, because of the people they've saved. But they are also losing themselves. And the truth is undeniable. They don't know how much longer they can keep going like this. The clock ticks on, but to Name 1, time feels irrelevant now. What does it matter how much time has passed when every day feels like a repetition of the last? The work, the sacrifice, it all feels endless. And yet, the realization is finally sinking in. They can't keep doing this. Not like this. Not without losing everything else that truly matters. The sudden ringing of the phone pulls Name 1 out of their thoughts, the harsh sound cutting through the thick silence that had settled over them. They glance at it, feeling a surge of frustration, but they answer it, forcing themselves to slide back into the role they've played so many times before. Their voice is steady, but underneath, it shakes, a tremor that betrays the weight they've been carrying. It's another emergency, another call, another life to save. The words come easily, the instructions, the calm tone, but inside, something cracks. Their hand trembles as they put the receiver down, and for a brief moment, the reality of the situation hits them harder than any patient ever could. They are not okay. They haven't been for a long time. Name 1 feels a wave of exhaustion wash over them, the kind that has settled deep in their bones, the kind that no amount of coffee can fix. Their chest tightens, and for the first time in years, they allow themselves to feel the crushing weight of everything they've been holding inside. The patient in front of them, a young woman, pale, her breathing shallow, seems to disappear as they turn their attention inward. They can no longer keep up the facade. They can no longer pretend that everything is fine. The truth is, they are breaking, and they know it. They are doing everything they can, giving everything they have, but it's not enough. They will never be able to save everyone. They will never be able to undo the damage done. Name 2 stands across the room, unaware of the internal collapse unfolding in Name 1. Their focus is unwavering, as always, their movements precise, their mask firmly in place. But even from across the room, Name 1 can see the toll it's taken on them, too. There's a slight hesitation in their step now, a moment of weariness that wasn't there before. The years of unrelenting pressure, the constant weight of responsibility, they're starting to show. Name 1 wants to reach out, to break the silence, to ask for help, but the words stick in their throat, lodged there by years of swallowing their own pain. They feel the distance between them grow wider, the invisible barrier they've both created, holding them apart when they need each other most. The exhaustion, the regret, the guilt, it's all there, pressing in from all sides. But even now, they don't speak it. They can't. The cycle has been so long, the sacrifice is so ingrained, that it feels like they're trapped in a maze with no way out. They thought they could handle it, that they could keep pushing forward, but now they know, deep down, they know, they are not invincible. They are human. And for the first time in years, they allow themselves to believe that it's okay to be broken, that it's okay to not have all the answers. The truth sits heavy on their chest, suffocating, but there's something strangely freeing about it too. They take a deep breath, letting the weight of it all settle, and for the first time, they stop pretending. The beeping of the monitors seems to fade into the background as Name 1 stands motionless, staring at the chart in front of them. The constant hum of the hospital, the footsteps echoing down the hallways, all of it feels distant now, as if they've become a mere observer in a world they no longer recognize. They've been here for so long, running on autopilot, doing what they've always done, never stopping to question whether it was worth it. But now, with everything weighing so heavily on them, they finally understand the cost of it all. It's not just the missed birthdays or the empty dinner tables. It's the realization that they've been living someone else's life, a life defined by duty, by expectations, by sacrifice. But what about their own desires, their own needs? When did they stop asking for more than just survival? They glance up and catch sight of Name 2 again, their face as stoic as ever, moving through the chaos with the same precision and detachment they always have. But this time, Name 1 notices the faint tremor in their hands as they adjust a patient's for. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but to Name 1, it's enough. Name 2 is just as broken as they are, just as trapped in this endless cycle of giving and never receiving. The thought hits them like a jolt. They've both been drowning, but neither of them had the courage to reach out for help. They've spent so long pretending that everything was fine, burying their pain, their regret, deep inside, that now, they can't remember what it feels like to breathe without it. The weight of their shared struggle feels suffocating, and for the first time in years, Name 1 lets the floodgates open. They walk across the room, their steps slow, deliberate, and stand beside Name 2. It's not a grand gesture, no dramatic confession, just a quiet presence, standing together in the middle of everything that's falling apart. Name 2 looks at them, their expression unreadable, but there's a shift, a subtle recognition in their eyes. Neither of them speaks at first. There's nothing to say. The years of silence, of unspoken understanding, have built a bridge between them, a bridge that neither of them had the courage to cross until now. Slowly, Name 2 lets out a deep breath, as if they've been holding it in for far too long, and for a moment, they just stand there, letting the weight of the past settle between them. No words are needed. The shared pain, the regrets, the sacrifices, they are all acknowledged in the quiet, the silence that has always been louder than anything they've ever said. And in that silence, something shifts. They don't have the answers. They can't undo the years of sacrifice, the pain, the missed opportunities. But in this moment, together, they can breathe. For the first time in a long time, they allow themselves to feel something other than exhaustion, something other than regret. They allow themselves to feel human, flawed, and most importantly, not alone. It's not much, but it's a beginning. The room is quieter now. The chaotic noise of the emergency room seems distant, muffled, as if the world outside has slowed to a crawl. Name 1 stands by the window, the light from the setting sun casting a soft glow over their tired face. They breathe in deeply. The air feels different now, heavier, but somehow more peaceful. For the first time in a long time, they allow themselves to take a moment, to just be, to not be consumed by the endless cycle of saving lives, of always being on the edge. The day is fading. The work is never truly done, but something has shifted. They no longer feel the crushing weight of the expectations they've carried for so long. They know that they've given everything they had, but more importantly, they know that it's okay to let go of the guilt, to let go of the idea that they are always supposed to fix everything. Name 2 enters the room quietly, standing beside them, not saying anything, but there's a shift in the air, an unspoken understanding between them. The tension that has been between them for so long, the unspoken distance, is no longer there. Name 1 turns to look at them, and for the first time, They see name two, not as a colleague, not as someone they have to work with, but as another human being who has been carrying the same weight. They share a look, a long moment of silence, but this time, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels like release. It feels like a shared breath. There are no words, no grand gestures. But in that stillness, there is a quiet acknowledgement that they've both been through something, that they've both carried more than anyone should have to. And in that silence, they begin to heal, not by fixing each other, not by doing anything at all, but by simply being present. It's not a grand epiphany, but it's enough. The work will never stop. The patients will always need them. But now, name one understands that they can keep going, not by sacrificing themselves, but by learning to accept the limitations, to embrace the brokenness. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to carry it all. In this moment, together, they are enough. They don't need to speak it out loud, but the weight that has defined them for so long begins to lift, just a little. The rest of the world might continue at its relentless pace, but for now, in this quiet space, they are allowed to just be. The sun has set now, the soft twilight filtering through the blinds, and name one finds themselves standing at the window once more. They watch as the last remnants of daylight fade away, the quiet peace of the moment settling over them like a blanket. The world outside continues, relentless, but here, in this small moment of stillness, they can breathe. They turn back toward the room, the hospital still alive with activity, but it feels less like an overwhelming force now. The machines still beep, the nurses still rush by, but for the first time in a long time, name one doesn't feel as if they are drowning in it. The weight of their past mistakes, their endless sacrifices, still lingers, but it no longer suffocates them. They walk back toward the counter, where a cup of cold coffee sits, untouched, and for the first time in what feels like forever, they pause. The exhaustion that once seemed insurmountable now feels more manageable, like a part of them rather than something foreign. The guilt, the regret, they are still there, but they no longer define them. They have learned, in this small quiet space, that healing isn't about erasing the past or fixing everything. It's about acceptance, about knowing that the brokenness is part of the journey, that the scars they carry are evidence of a life lived fully, even if imperfectly. Name two walks into the room quietly, and they both share a glance, a brief but meaningful moment of connection. The silence between them doesn't feel heavy anymore. Instead, it's comforting, a mutual understanding that doesn't require words. Name one takes a deep breath, feeling something shift within them, a release of tension they didn't even realize they were holding on to. The hospital, the work, it's all still there, waiting. But they no longer feel as if they have to shoulder it alone, as if they have to sacrifice everything for the sake of others. For the first time in years, they allow themselves to feel hope again, not in some grand, sweeping sense, but in small, quiet ways. It's in the way the light fades outside, the way the weight on their shoulders eases just a little. It's in the way they and name two share a small, unspoken moment, two people who have learned to be there for each other, in their own imperfect way. It's in the quiet acceptance that they are enough, just as they are. The journey ahead is still uncertain, and the work is never truly done, but now, they know they don't have to face it alone. They are human, with flaws and limitations, but in this moment, in this shared silence, they have found a sense of peace.